Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck, the delicious mobile coffee truck that brings you the caffeination inspiration you need. We deliver signature coffee products like our Nitro Cold Brew and Caramel Frappe to any occasion or festivity. And for those who don't like coffee, we offer a variety of delicious hot chocolates, energy drinks, lemonades, and teas. That's Travelin' Tom's Coffee Truck. All right, welcome back to another edition of the Goblay Show. I am your host, Billy Goble, and today we have a former Raider and special guest. Today joining the show is none other than Mr. Richard Kelly, also known as Lely. Lely, welcome to the show, buddy.
Hey, buddy, how you doing?
I'm good, man. How's it going?
Everything's good. Everything's really good.
Life is great.
Life is amazing. Life is amazing.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm. What are you doing these days?
So right now, taking care of my family. I got 2 little boys, wife, work-wise, working at Sherwin-Williams. But
okay,
for the most part, just living life.
How do you like the Sherwin-Williams?
Sherwin-Williams is really, really good. I mean, I would say it have its ups and downs, but for the most part, it's a blessing. It's definitely a blessing.
Yeah, we deal with a lot of the with the school doing the paints and stuff for the schools, and now it's prime time. Yeah, summer's just about over with, and we're getting everything prepped for the new year, and everybody's getting a new coat of paint, let's just say, and they're a great company.
Oh yeah, I mean they're pretty really huge. I mean I got be so lucky with that company. I've been with them now probably 14 years now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it was a blessing. Even for me, just getting to that company was really, really good.
So to get where you are now, we're going to go back because I always do this thing like time travel type deal where, we want to know how you got to where we are right now. So we're going to go back and are you a native from here? Or did you move from here? Because, I assume that we have kids that played here. They're like, oh, they were born in Webster, and they're like, they're not from here. Like Mike McCrimmon's from Osceola County, and he moved here. And Coach Kinley's from St. Pete. I had no idea.
No, exactly. I mean, I actually was born in Leesburg, but I'm actually from Bushnell. Okay. My mom we live in a place called Green Settlement. Not too many people know what Green Settlement is. I mean, people here in Sumter County knows, but on the map, it's very royal. Dirt roads. The country, very, very country.
and that people kind of misjudge the country part for being lack of anything. I mean, the lack of experience with daily life. We have the same ups and downs you do in the city.
No, exactly,
know what I mean?
Exactly.
Or they just go ahead and discredit us because we're from an area where things are different.
Oh yeah, I mean, because even like in my environment, I always tell people this, like Green Settlement was a place where you have Bushnell, also have Webster, and for the most part it's very country and also kind of poor and stuff like that. But then also you have Green Settlement, which is like the bottom of the bottom, and that's what I grew up, raised, and made me today.
Do you think growing up in an area like that, because where I grew up, I lived between Webster and Center Hill, and we had it was in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
Places like that, do you think that makes someone a little more appreciative of things because it's not at your fingertips? Or vice versa? Like, I have friends that are from cities and they're like, oh yeah, when I was a kid, I used to get on the bus and go to the museum. And I'm like, what? Like we had a school bus and I didn't even ride that. My parents took me to school. I mean, I kind of felt cheated out of it. You know what I mean? Like I didn't get to ride the bus like I don't want to say normal kids, but what I'm saying, like it takes a little bit from you.
No, I mean, it definitely makes you like appreciate life a lot better, especially too, like honestly, I think I look back at it probably like sometime last year. I started reading my sister book, and then part of that chapter, one of the chapters, it was just like going into the depth of we had to survive the winter storm or something like that. I was like, wait a minute, wait. dang, we didn't have any central heat, you know? So now I feel like, growing up, just going through all them things that I went through as a child, it's like, man, you really got to appreciate where you came from, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot of truth to what you just said, because I mean, you think about just not even our generation or even these last few decades. Mm-hmm. If you go back to, the Depression times, you got people, and there's still people that are still alive from that era. Mm-hmm. They talk about, if you ever listen to the older generation talk, they're like, I remember my friend's grandparents talking about it, and you never could grasp that idea. Mm-hmm. My grandfather would talk about it. He was left alone. His parents left him at the house and moved to another state. I'm like, who does that?
Oh yeah.
But that's one of those things that people used to do, and they wouldn't think twice about it. Nowadays it's like, and don't tell me that they weren't people that would do bad things to kids back then. I mean, it hasn't changed.
Oh yeah, no.
It's not so much highlighted like it was or like it is now, but I would never leave my 11-year-old at home by himself as I go to another state with my wife.
Oh yeah.
And some other siblings. He was not the only sibling. That's the best part.
Oh yeah.
He was left there, and it's like, what kind of parental decision was that made by?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's for me, that's really tough. 'Cause even like for me, like my mom, single parent, raising 5 kids, so there's times where I didn't even see my mom because she working like 12-hour shifts and stuff like that. So I would literally wake up middle of the night just to see my mom. Yeah. A lot of people don't understand. Like some people do understand it, and some people don't understand it. But it's like, as a kid, missing out on your mom, really don't have a dad in your life, it really does. It plays a toll on you,
right?
And honestly, for me, I was so blessed. I had like older sisters who could really look after me and stuff like that.
Right.
And then also too, just meeting like a lot of friends who was going through the same thing. That's why I feel like with Green Settlement, we really don't get that much credit, especially with football. But I mean, people know, Coach Sherman them know, Coach Lawrence them know that they, Green Settlement breeds tough kids because we came in that tough environment.
Right.
It was, like I said, I was probably 8 years old and don't even know my mom gonna come back from work just because she's busting her butt trying to raise 5 kids.
Right.
So yeah, it was good times too. Don't get me wrong, because like I say, she made it to the point where I didn't feel like I was poor or anything like that. I didn't realize it honestly until I actually went to college and was like, wait a minute, I have a microwave, I have this right here, so
yeah. Well, and not only that, and see, it's a blessing. It can be a blessing and a curse at the same time, because that and that's always we've talked about that previously. Like, what you think was, man, this was the best thing ever, and then another person has never experienced that, or they wouldn't know how to react to that because they don't know. It's like, okay, so my son, he has a peanut allergy. He'll never get to eat peanut butter. And I'm like, what? Like, that's like Americana, man. That's PB&J. You can't grow up and not have PB&J. I mean, that's like the staple of my childhood. And but he'll never know that. And I'm, at first I was like, you know what? I just can't understand that. And then to me, it's like, well, what if that, he's not even going to know about it, so he's not really disappointed.
No, exactly.
I'm the one disappointed because I know what it tastes like. You know what I mean? Not having it, it'd be like having it and then being it taken away from you. But he never even got a chance to even. So it's one of those things, like, if you grew up financially, unstable or whatever, deficient, you don't understand, like, you see people driving cars and stuff, and you're like, wow, that's a dream or something. Like, and we all have that. There's things that we want that we can't afford or we can't have. Yeah. But then there's things that there are people that have money who would kill to have your relationship with your sisters or your mom.
Oh yeah.
And it's not there. And no amount of money can buy that.
Right.
So I think you can weigh it out in your hands, and I think you're thinking that man, like some kids say, man, I grew up poor, but they don't realize how rich they really were.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
I totally
there's
agree.
other things. So it is one thing and another just to kind of figure out what really means what to you.
No, exactly. And honestly, like the biggest thing that means to me is, just family, honestly. Like, even like my family now with my 2 little boys and my wife, family to me is the most important thing, ever. And like I say, like money, it's there. It's okay. We have to do with it, but it's all about family, honestly. If you got a good relationship with your family, it's always, this is the best thing, best feeling for me.
Yeah.
Being a dad, having my family and, just like I say, just living life and just every day is waking up and just thinking about them.
Bro, there's nothing better than being able to experience something that somebody else can, not everybody gets to experience.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by that is, I never thought I'd be a dad, and although I don't have kids they're not my own kids, they are my kids.
Mm-hmm.
And so I take care of them like they are my kids.
Oh, yeah.
But I never thought I'd have that opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
And now that I have that time to do it, I posted on social media a couple of weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
We're out here on the front court.
Yeah,
we're playing basketball,
mm-hmm.
and my boy thinks we're just playing a game. We're just shooting around.
Yeah,
but I'm loving it, bro. I'm like, he just thinks we're playing basketball, but it's so much more than that.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a reason why sometimes people have to wait.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I would have cherished it as much as I've been 25 years old.
Oh yeah,
probably would have been like, I gotta go to work, kid. I ain't got time. So I always try to tell people with young kids, I'm like, dude, please.
Mm-hmm.
You may not get that opportunity again. So anytime they want to do something, I mean, it's hard.
Oh yeah,
they'll run you ragged, bro.
Hey,
you got smaller kids than I do. My 11-year-old's about to drive me in the grave,
bro. They are both my boys is spitting image of me and my wife,
Oh, yeah.
And then my oldest, he just has something about him that I'm just like, dang, that's me. If I cause people my sister, my mom, any type of hell, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I am sorry, but like you say, I mean, you gotta just take it. I try to put myself into their little brains. I don't know if adults do that, but I just try to figure out, okay, what do you see in your eyes, and why are you doing the things that you do?
Yeah.
Why do you move the way you move, and just trying to figure that out, and just don't try to scream and have patience with them. I mean, just love on them.
That's all you can do, man. Just show them love, because even. I tell you, I'll tell you an experience. I used to be a substitute teacher, and I go to schools, and he'd always, I try to get to know the kids, because that's a big key is to learn your kid, know your kids. And I know I wasn't there every day because I was only there when they would miss. Yeah, but I would try to keep track of who was what, who did what. And it all ended up being in the same result. They all wanted love. You know what I'm saying? No matter how bad they were.
Yep.
And that was pretty much why they were bad, because they wanted somebody to pay attention to them. They wanted to be loved. They wanted somebody to take care of them.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes the only way to do that is to stand out. Not in a good way.
Yeah.
But kids have different ways. And I never really understood that until there was somebody told me one time. They said, I was telling how, man, these kids in this class are horrible. They're horrible. And I was oh God, I was ready to leave.
Yeah.
At the end of the day at the buses, I'm like, bye.
Yeah.
See ya. Go home. What kind of life are they going to?
Oh yeah.
You don't.
Exactly.
I'm not thinking that. All I'm thinking is the present right now, or the past 3-4 hours I had with them. You don't know where they're going.
No, not at all. I mean, I remember this time that this is something that really hurt me is when my oldest was 6 years old, and he kept getting in trouble at school, and I remember picking him up from school and just seeing where he just was a destruction. I mean, he ran away from the security guard. He started throwing chairs and stuff like that. And my first thing I was thinking about, okay, I remember my, cousin who used to stay with us as well. She used to do the same thing. And I was getting in trouble with the school. So then, with a parent, you have to feel like, after a while, it's so many times that you have to say, hey, you can't do that. You can't do that. And from when I grew up, I get spankings. We all used to get spankings. stuff like that. And I remember I spanked him, and that was probably like one of the worst thing and the hardest thing I ever went through is spanking him. And then after his spanking, he's just crying, putting his hands on his head and saying, "Daddy, I don't know why I'm doing the things I was doing," and from there, I just started doing research, and then, but X amount of years later, he got diagnosed with ADHD, like 99.9, and it's just like, man, it's crazy that how kids nowadays are, we all know that, it's real. We have ADHD, depression, and all that stuff, and I just started just really doing my research and trying to figure out how can we, fix this, because as a parent, you don't want to put your kids on any type of like medication or anything like that. But at the same time too, you have these schools where they forcing, parents to, give their kids medication or hinting towards the medication and stuff. And, long story short, just, it's all about what we eat, as kids, as parents and stuff like that. And as soon as I clean up his diet, it's a totally different attitude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I chalk it up to you have a kid that's, something's not all there.
Yeah.
You can tell, and you don't know his background. And and I just chalk it up, they're 6.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
oh, yeah.
When I was 6 years old, I was hyper, running around, acting crazy. Mm-hmm. But now we have to diagnose them as I don't know how true that is to the, there are some kids, that they can't help it, but there's just some kids being kids.
Oh, yeah.
And I just, you forget that. You forget they're kids.
Oh, yeah.
I as I get older, I'm like, man, did I act like that?
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I know for sure. I would say I wasn't as bad as the things that he did, as worse things that he did. But his impulsiveness, he definitely came from me. You can ask anybody from South Sumter. You can ask Carlos or Kendall. Whenever it took a lot to upset me, but then once I get upset, all I did is just see like red. And I just could not stop myself for some reason. And I was like, wait a minute, is that impulsive, or I can't just talk myself out of it? But he definitely got that from me.
I think that I think a lot of people can do that from time to time. That so there's so many different ways to deal with anger, stress, anxiety. And you don't realize that till you start working with different people who deal with it in different ways.
Yeah.
When I worked in Orlando at Disney, I met so many people that different things they would deal with, and they got a lot going on in their lives, and you just wonder how in the world do they live with this daily.
Yeah.
Here I am. I'm a pretty go-lucky guy. Happy-go-lucky. And there are days where I just, I want to be by myself.
Yeah.
And people go, no, like for real, like they think there's something wrong. There's nothing wrong. Just sometimes you just need a day to I would always say I need a day to myself, and I'd take the day off from work, and I'd just go to the movies by myself or something like that. They call it a me day. I need a me day. I know you can't do that with when you got a family, but what I'm saying is sometimes you just need that. You need a day to take care of yourself, because without you being 100%, how you supposed to handle business?
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Whether your job, family, whatever.
Exactly.
But that's the key, is take care of yourself.
Oh yeah.
But before we get too far off the table, I want to talk about some sports.
Okay.
Because this is why I started this thing.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Lily, what is the first sport that you grew up, and I don't want to assume it's football, but maybe you had another love and just football became something you were more passionate about or better at? But what's something that you remember the first thing about sports?
So whenever it comes down to sports, I always was a bigger kid, and honestly, like throughout elementary school, middle school, I was not the best student. You gotta understand, growing up, initially poor, my mom always working, homework and anything like that was not part of it.
Me too.
And I honestly, I felt like I really didn't start learning, until I went to college, when I got laughed at by a whole bunch of people after the essay, and I'm just like, I don't know if college for me, but luckily, we met my girlfriend, now wife. She pretty much helped me out, getting through that and giving me different grammar books and stuff like that to really help me out. But Sport for me is just like, backyard football. My mom always have, Sundays, NFL on, and I really didn't pay attention. I seen it. I was like, oh, that's collision. I can pretty much express myself on the, in the football. So me and, a couple of guys in the neighborhood probably had like 18, I don't want to say 18, probably like 15 kids, Tony Smith, Denzel, Kendall. We always just go out in my field and we just play backyard football. And I mean, you got to think these games where I grew up it was rough. I mean, we play in the dirt, we play in the grass, we tackle each other in the bushes. I mean, if you come to our games with like growing up, you're gonna have a lot of like blood on you, and that's how physical. That's how physically we were back as kids. It was no crying.
It was like a mixture of XFL and Arena Bowl.
Oh yeah. Not exactly. And then every single time, it doesn't matter. It's just like if somebody get ran over or something happens, it usually breaks out into fights. And then we got a little bit of MMA in there, So
you're throwing a little mixed martial arts.
Oh yeah.
I love it.
Oh yeah.
So what's a team that you because everybody's got a favorite team, or they say they don't, but they do. Deep down, they do. What's the first team? I'm curious because I always like to ask everybody, especially when they say, "Well, I like this team," and I go, "Why? Why do you like them?" Who's the first team you fell in love with? We'll go college and then we'll go NFL.
I could be completely honest with you. There's no team that I really fell in love with. You know? Yeah. Like football, honestly, football for me, it was just a way out. Yeah. I really, don't get me wrong, it was really, really fun. I mean, I loved it and stuff like that, but I really didn't watch it. Each time it comes on, I'll take a look at it and then I just go outside and play. I really wasn't the Bucks or anything like that. Even with college, I didn't even know about college teams. Even in high school, I didn't know about college teams. That's why in my recruiting process, whenever USF gave me the offer, it was close to home. But my mom, I was like, all right, cool, I'm gonna go here. Telling Ole Miss, nah, I ain't gonna go up there. I don't know you get that. Yeah, you ain't gonna see me on the visit.
I ain't going to Oxford.
Exactly. So I would say it really wasn't a team that I really watched or really fell in love with. Because I really didn't, fall in love with football like that in that type of way.
Is there a player that you would emulate?
I would say the player, it will probably be Tom Brady. I just love his background story of, just coming from the bottom, working just really, really hard. Yeah. So I would say, in college, I follow him pretty heavily.
Yeah, he pretty much was, down and out at first, and then he got an opportunity. That's a prime example of taking your opportunity and running with it.
Yeah.
Because, without Drew Bledsoe doesn't get hurt, I don't think we see Tom Brady like we see Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
And there's several different opportunities down the road that helped. It was almost like a domino effect after that. Oh. And Drew Bledsoe was a great quarterback.
Oh, yeah.
It wasn't like it was like some bum out there, third string, and he's like, they come over to him like, Tom, there's nobody out there left.
Oh yeah.
You must go in and throw the ball. No, it was like, he went in there, and that's one of the reasons why I think quarterbacks should wait a little bit, because I think seriously if they would have thrown Tom Brady, I'm not taking anything away from Tom Brady. He's smart enough. But I don't think he was smart enough at that age.
No,
he's smart now. Yeah. He's very intelligent. I mean, I'm not saying he's not intelligent, but you know what I'm saying. Football knowledge.
Oh yeah.
Would he have known what to do? Would he been in the right? I mean, you know what I mean. You get lucky, you get in the right system.
No, exactly. I totally agree.
And you get to a team where you look at these teams that they'll draft somebody. It's in every sport. They get drafted by a team and they go, wow, he's good. But then you go to another team, you're like, wow, he's really good. And that has a lot to do with the team chemistry, the system they're in. Letting them do this, not letting them do that, not letting them be themselves. And that restricts somebody from being the creativity and stuff. Brett Favre was a great improviser.
Oh, yeah.
And then everybody's like, why are you when you're about to fall down, why are you getting rid of the don't throw the ball. And he's like, I'm throwing the ball. I'm sure they told him several times, like, dude, you're going to get us a turnover.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, he's the king of turnovers, but he's also one of the greatest quarterbacks.
I know, exactly.
So I think if you don't take the chance, you don't roll the dice, you never know what's going to happen.
Oh, yeah, no, exactly. I mean, you definitely have to roll the dice and with the punches. And then for me, like in middle school, because I didn't have the grades, I couldn't play in 7th grade, because actually I fell, and then finally got moved back up. And then my first year was, 8th grade. And even so with Coach Kinley, I always tease him. I always say, like, Coach, you should have had me running the football. He's like, Lily, we just didn't have, we didn't know what you could do, I was like, oh, okay. I mean, I'm middle school, 230 pounds, so, but.
He's like, put me at fullback, Coach.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, what's funny about Coach Kinley is we've talked, and he's like, we talk about all the kids that he's like cut or let go or something. They're all D1 kids.
Oh, yeah.
He's like, oh my God. He's like, all these kids I've cut or not let play or whatever. But it's just funny because he does, it's hard to see potential when you're 13 years old.
Exactly.
I mean, I don't see how there's people that recruit middle schools now.
Oh, yeah. Crazy.
Especially in basketball. They're like, all right, we're expecting you to grow. And it's like, drafting a tree that you just planted, and you're like, all right, you're going to be this so much taller than this point. And I'm like, how can you know that? You don't have a clue.
No, not at all. Yeah, I feel like with him, he just like, it was my first year playing that. It was playing organized football. So, he had me in the right spot. And also too, I still remember the first day of my tryouts, and this is probably one of my happiest moments, is that my sister and my mom came out to my tryouts, cheering like, let's go, Lily. I'm just like, yo, you're embarrassing me. Stop. Like, they're not in front of my friends.
Nobody else's mama's out
like,
here.
Come on. Come
on.
But
you brought the whole family.
Oh yeah, no, exactly. But I would say, even though when she was working, she never missed any of my middle school or high school games. I think it was only one she missed in high school, but other than that, she always showed up.
What's your mom's name?
Brenda.
You're a great mom.
Oh, yeah.
Brenda, you're a great mom. No moms miss their kids' games. So, I mean, that's a great mom. If you can do it, man.
Oh, yeah.
Great mom.
Oh, no. Yeah. I mean, she really, she was my driving force because, her and my grandma, they always just like, oh, you're going to make it to like the NFL. And I'm just like, NFL? Huh? You're not going to make money doing this? You just running people over? All right, cool.
Whether your water is supplied by a public municipality or a private well, for residential or commercial use, Purified Water Services LLC has the solutions to provide you with simply clean water. We offer a complete line of professional water filtration equipment and accessories. Soft water makes a difference you can see and feel. Water heater and appliances last longer with less maintenance. Iron and H2S filters eliminate iron stains and offensive rotten egg odors and protects your water softener equipment from iron fouling. No matter what your problem is, Purified Water Services LLC has a solution. Contact Kenny Williams at 352-446-2709. Promotional consideration paid for by the following. Webster Ace Hardware and Farm Supply are generous sponsors for today's podcast. They have been a family-owned business for 27 years. This helpful hardware store sells items such as archery, Ariat clothing and boots, Wrangler jeans, case knives, Hammond's candies, and live fishing wear. They also have a full selection of hardware, RV supply, propane, Ben Moore, Royal & Clark, and Kingston paints. You need a barn or fencing job done? Custom barn kits and roofing metal are provided at your local Ace Hardware store. What about a new grill for the yard? Traeger, Big Green Egg, Weber, and Blackstone are found here, along with all the accessories to go with them. Stock up your workshop with DeWalt, Milwaukee, or Craftsman tools. They got you covered. Remember to go to ace.com to shop their entire line to have items shipped directly to the store. Pat's Taps at Catfish Johnny's. Pat's Taps is Lake Penosofsky's newest tap room, offering 14 rotating craft beers on tap. We also offer bottled domestic beers, seltzers, ciders, and wine, as well as a variety of appetizers and pub food. Our family-friendly tap room is a great place to come hang out and enjoy some one-of-a-kind craft beer. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, or the Untapped app. Looking for custom apparel that stands out? Welcome to the Stitching Heifers, Bushnell's premier embroidery and custom apparel shop. From custom hats, t-shirts and jackets to unique gifts and business branding, we specialize in high quality, personalized apparel that reflects your style and vision. Step into our exclusive hat bar and design your one-of-a-kind custom hat, perfect for personal flair or promoting your brand. At the Stitching Heifers, we're committed to bringing your ideas to life with exceptional service and attention to detail. Whether it's for you, your business, or a thoughtful gift, we're your trusted partner for all things custom in the heart of Sumter County. Stop by today or visit us online to get started. The Stitching Heifers, custom style, local heart. When it comes to building in Sumter County, experience matters. From remodels, barns, additions, and accessory buildings to creating the custom home of your dreams, our Hogan Construction delivers quality you can trust. Russell is hands-on and on-site daily, going above and beyond to ensure the project isn't just completed, but crafted to perfection. He doesn't just meet expectations, he exceeds them. For a builder who puts integrity and craftsmanship first, call R. Hogan Construction today at 352-793-7660. Russell Hogan Construction. Built on tradition, built to last. Catfish Johnny's Restaurant, serving the Lake Pennsauken and surrounding areas since 1990. For the last 33 years, we have strived to serve great food at great prices and a friendly, casual atmosphere. If seafood isn't your thing, our burgers or wings are the best around. We have daily specials too. Check us out on Facebook or Instagram for more information. Duto Realty is a homegrown business with an eye for getting the job done right. From football games to Sunday school and everything in between, these ladies care about our community and the people in it, helping buyers and sellers in all of Florida with all types of transactions, including residential, commercial, farm, or vacant land. They do it all. They even offer auction services and sellouts to always get the job done right. So middle school, you kind of get your feet wet in the sport because you actually get to play it, and you get to play and with your peers and stuff. That and it's not out. You got pads on, so you're a little bit more safe than you would in the sand lot. No, you know what I'm saying? What was it like? What was it like transitioning from just backyard football to be like, was it any different? Did you feel like you're like, the first time they always say, you'll know the first time you hit somebody and you're like, either I belong here or I don't belong here.
Oh yeah. For me, it was quite easy because like I say, just growing up in that rough environment, there's always so many fights and stuff. You fights, getting cut. My cousin one time, he had a knife one time and, I think he seen like a movie and he had a knife with a lighter. And I think I was probably like 6 years old. So he had the knife warming it up. I'm like, hey, what are you doing? And then
cutting a wart off?
No, I was just like, what are you doing? And getting the knife really, really hot. And then I think I probably had to be like 9 years old or something like that. And then he was like, oh, no, you just come here. And I was like, yeah, what? And then he got the knife and just put it up. I'm sorry. And just put it on my arm. And then my skin is coming out. So I feel like my pain tolerance is like so high, just, through my childhood.
Bro, he's like a James Bond villain.
Yeah, no, exactly. I was just like, he also shot me in the head with a BB gun before. And then my uncle, like, I still remember this. Like, he shot me. God. He was like, Lily, come here. I'm like, yeah. And he had the BB gun. And he just shot me in the head with the BB gun. And then my mom was going to take me to the doctor the next day. And my uncle, we sold like country and backyard. He's like, oh, you need to go to the hospital. And he just popped it out my forehead. And I'm just like,
man, Lily, you got to quit going when he says, come here. That was when he's like, hey, Lily, come here. You're like, nah, I'm good.
I know I didn't learn my lesson. Did not learn my lesson. But I would say, as soon as I hit my growth spurt, that's when a lot of things start to change. Yeah. But just transitioning over to football, it was just, when I put in pads, it was easy, just to run somebody over now and don't even feel the pain. I'm just like, oh, that's it.
So you move on from middle school football. Well, let's stay in middle school for just a second. What's your the best memory that you can remember of? I really never get to answer that or ask that question to a lot of people, and a lot of people don't remember. They're like, oh, you know what? Because middle school only plays like 6 games, and there's no playoffs, so it's quick and it's over pretty quickly. Yeah. But is there something that like a fond memory, something that stood out, and you're like, that was awesome.
I would say probably my first touchdown. I was playing tight end, underneath Coach Kelly, and we did like a little tight end dump pass, and just catching the ball over my shoulder for the first touchdown was.
Who was that against?
I can't remember who it was against.
Okay,
yeah, I couldn't remember who it was against, but it was pretty amazing.
That's awesome. So you get your feet wet again, like I said, and you move it over to high school. Now, was that pretty intimidating coming over to high school?
Yeah, that was intimidating because coming from playing only 1 year, 8th grade year, and then as a freshman getting moved up straight to varsity, only having 1 year of experience, that was totally different. And I'm so lucky as having like upperclassmen who can kind of like pave the way. Yeah. And I just remember, Pedro, middle linebacker. Pedro was running through everybody. He just was a head buster, and every single time we go through our drills, he would just run me over, tackle me. You will hit like my boy named Leroy, almost knocked him out. I'm just like, man, Pedro is out here just knocking people out, and yeah, I mean, he was a scary guy. Yeah, he was a scary guy. But at the same time, he came up to me in my freshman year, and I still remember this. I was sitting in the locker room. He sat down beside me. He was like, "Lily, how much you weigh?" I was like, 230. He was like, "I weigh 215." Lily, how much you bench press? Like 315. He was like, "I only bench press like 275." Then he started asking me all my accolades. He was like, "There's no reason why you shouldn't be hitting me just as hard." And then once he gave me that confidence, that's when the light, turned on. Oh yeah.
I think it's a light that comes on when everybody realizes that, and they usually wait till after high school. And they go, man, I wish I'd hit somebody in high school. Well, it's too late now.
Oh, yeah.
But when you're in high school, you're like, man, like, you can see the intimidation in the guys. I'm like, man, just go out there and play, man. Just, if you realize now, what you know now, then you'll be so much better off. I tell kids all the time, like, kids that they're like wanting to play JV, and they're like, they move them to varsity. I'm like, why would you want? No, why? If I felt like you had no like experience, like it's your first year, you could probably play a couple games of JV, and there's nothing wrong, guys. There's nothing wrong with JV. But JV is for the kids who only played a couple years or don't. They're not fully, they're still developing.
Exactly.
Not even physically wise, just mentally wise. Like they're like, you got to get it some. I always think of it like game reps. Yeah. I always think of it as like college and pro in high school. So you're going to make that transition, and just those couple games. Yeah. If you get 4 or 5 games in, look at Earl Everett didn't play straight into, you know what I mean? Like, so he played JV because his incoming freshman class, I remember Coach Howman was like, all right, guys, everybody's either you're going to quit or you're going to go play varsity. You have 2 choices. You're moving up regardless. If you don't want to play, you don't feel like you can play varsity, he moved everybody up because that freshman class was so good. Yeah. I'll never forget. He's like, well, y'all have fun. Y'all go to varsity. And everybody's like, well, wait, what? Because there's some kids that are like, nah, man, I need another year in JV. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. But they weren't expecting to go to varsity. Yeah. And they're like, that's where the big boys are, like that's where we moved that freshman class in there, and with Earl and Ben and my brother-in-law Garrett Norris, Shea Bass, all them guys, they were there, and Howman's like, I got my team.
Oh yeah, exactly. I mean, sometimes you just gotta pull the Band-Aid off and just go into the fire. That's why even like in Sherwin-Williams, I always tell like a lot of people like, when we have like an MTP or a manager training program, like why put them in a small store, $1 million store? You should put them in like a $6 million store and see if they survive. If they survive, hey, we know that they can do it. But if not, hey, sorry, you just got to move on. But I feel like you just got to get thrown in that fire. Sometimes you do it with babies. So you can't swim? Here you go. Learn how to swim.
Have you ever seen the videos of that where they throw the babies in the water?
Yeah.
It's crazy, but but they will start swimming.
They start swimming.
So that's why I always see those videos and I'm like, man, you hear about kids drowning and stuff. You're like, but wait a minute, if a baby can do it, why? I know some people can't swim. Yeah. You know what I mean? Maybe it's just like fear. Yeah. And they're like, fear takes over your body.
Exactly.
I don't ever know, but I'm just saying, like, I see that and they go, man, this little baby, it's not even like a toddler yet, can swim. It's just a natural instinct because we're surrounded by fluid.
Oh yeah,
until we come out of the womb. But I'm like, it's just the difference. I'm like, man, that's amazing how. But it's crazy how the body can just either shut down, or it can go into survival mode, and it's crazy.
No, exactly. I remember one time, on the subject about swimming, my little brothers actually went over to Kroom, and they had like this little river, and with this river, it kind of like, the water goes here or the sand goes down here, comes out here, and it just dropped like 20 feet. And one of my mom boyfriend at the time, I guess my two little brothers was playing, they didn't see that little hump, and they started to drown, and my mom boyfriend went to go save them, but he didn't know how to swim, so he pretty much like grabbed them, pushed them off, and then unfortunately he had drowned.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's one of them things where it's like, I just feel like things happen for a reason, and I, like, especially like whenever I kind of look back at my life, like it was like a lot of pain and stuff that I had to go through as a kid. Even as an adult, we go through it as well. But once you can overcome that, you can pretty much, build out your life any type of way.
Yeah, I think a lot of people, they want to be better at something, so they ask to be better about something. And what I mean by that, and trying to tie this into this conversation, is a lot of people ask for wisdom or discipline or patience. They might pray about it, and then they get tested. Then they go, why did that happen? And maybe that was part of the deal. Like, you know what I mean? Like, if you pray for, I want to be more patient. And then something happens and you're asking for a job and you don't get it. And you get upset and you're like, oh, you weren't very patient because you didn't get the job you're supposed to wait.
Yeah, exactly.
And to me, have you ever seen that, the video on Jocko? Jocko, I'll have to play it for you. He, basically he was saying, hey, he was telling the military, he was like, hey, he didn't get the job. Good. You should respond with everything with good, even if it's not good. Yeah. Because the examples are, you didn't get the job. Good. It'll make you work harder on the next one. Yeah. You didn't get the promotion. Good. You'll work a little bit harder. This didn't work out. Good. Maybe it wasn't meant to be. So every negative response, he turned around with a positive reinforcement, saying good. Yeah. Even though it's not good, and we don't accept that. We don't want to accept negative things that happen in our lives. The best way to handle that and to process it and to move on is to say good. Oh, yeah. Now, I'm not saying like, hey, Uncle Dave passed away. Good. You know what I mean? That's not what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, was he suffering? Was it time for, you know what I mean? Like we have no, it's like trying to control things we have no control over.
No, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So I mean, it's like, you take a negative experience, just like in football. Hey, you didn't get you're not starting. Good. It'll make you work a little bit harder.
Exactly.
So I mean, if everybody would just kind of think that way, and that's not, I don't even think that way half the time, but I got to remind myself that, look, sometimes, bad things or negative things that I think are negative are not really negative. They're just, I think it is. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what my wife always said. Like, whenever something like, is happening, for instance, if they just having a bad day or whatever, for me, I rarely get upset just because, I went through so much that I got kind of like, it's nothing. But at the same time, too, in college, I was late for a class. Like, oh, my God, I'm late for class. The world is ending, But we definitely, like you say, that like whenever you get like anything that's negative, you guys got to turn it around into a positive.
It's amazing how the things we think that are important, especially like when you like you said, just go back to college. You thought, oh my gosh, it's the end of the world, I'm going to be late. But it really wasn't.
It really wasn't.
Or I was my brother had friends that would come over to the house. They have a party, and the kids are at the party, and this kid wouldn't talk to this kid, and they'd get upset, and I was like, why are you upset? That person you may not even care about in 2 years.
Yeah,
they come in your life for a reason.
Yeah,
and then that might be it.
Yeah, exactly.
It could be in passing. It could be they could be here 6 months.
Oh yeah,
they could be here for 6 years. It doesn't matter. It's how you respond.
Exactly.
And what you're going to do, in the future, you kind of remember, well, oh, okay, well, but getting upset about it is not going to do anything. No. And thinking it's a priority.
Oh, yeah.
Things I thought priority was 5 years ago. They don't matter anymore.
No, yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, exactly.
You're always changing.
No, you really are. I mean, because I remember in college, and this is like where my heart got hurt the worst is in college is finding out that my sister passed away, my oldest sister. That she was like the one who typically took care of me. And just finding out that, and just having people to support me.
Right.
My girlfriend, wife now, to be there. And then my cousin, who was like he's my best friend, and just having him there to support me was really, really good, but long story short, but he also passed away as well. But it's one of the things, like I say, it just builds you, it builds me as a man and stuff like that. I still love them to death, both of them, and I always think about them. But like I say, it's almost like the thing where it's kind of just put a callus on your mind. Like you hurt for a second, but then you get stronger. You hurt for a second, you get stronger. And that really, like all that pain in the past for me, it really helped me out, especially through football.
Right.
Just having that, almost like, to me, honestly, with football, I like football, I love football, but it was like a yo-yo. It's something to do, something to kind of get my mind off of other stuff.
Yeah.
And if I could do that and hit people, I mean, hey.
Going back to high school, your freshman year, who were some of the guys you played with?
So I played with Kendo, my freshman year, so it would be Kendo, Clyde, Fabian, at that senior that time, Carlos, Jared, all them guys, Pedro, Nate Youngblood.
What year did you graduate?
2007.
Okay, 2007. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. My brother was 08. Yeah. So that was a good 4 year, like a 4 year span. That was a really good. I mean, don't get me wrong, we've had great classes.
Yeah.
But that was one of them. That was a good 4 year span. That was a good 4 years.
Oh yeah.
That would be a president. It would be a good term.
Good terms. Oh yeah. I mean, it was good. I had a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And then Kendall, who's my best friend, I knew Kendall since we were like 5 years old. Like we always just pushing each other in the weight room and stuff. Or our whole goals was just like, hey, we got to get up out of here, and then do something with our lives. And having him there pushing me and stuff, and I'm pushing him, it was amazing.
So you were part of that. Went to the state championship game.
Yeah, I was there.
Tell us a little bit about that experience. Tell us about that season, because that's as close as we've gotten it, besides the year that we I'll say this, we beat Bowles and they robbed us.
Yeah. I mean, that season was a magical season, going to state. So that would have been my junior year, and about the state championship game, the only thing I can remember is that I couldn't freaking play, because I had my broken collarbone, and just going out there, just looking from the sideline, like, dang, I wish I would have, could have been out there. I even begged Coach Sherman, can I play? I begged my mom, can I play? I begged the doctors, can I play? Like, I understand my collarbone is broken, but hey, I can do a little something.
I'll fix it later.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that was definitely a magical season. I just felt like, everything was clicking at the right time. That Jacksonville Bowles game was really, really tough. That's the game that I broke my collarbone, and but they made it happen.
Walk us through that injury when you got the collarbone. Do you remember everything about it?
Oh, I could tell you the whole thing. Like I like that's one thing I can remember is breaking this freaking collarbone. So when we was playing against Jacksonville, actually it was the the playoff game before, I can't remember what team we played. It could have been like Keystone Heights, or it could have been like some team like that. I remember going through practice. We had shells on, and sorry, Mario, but I'm about to pitch your business out. So we was in shells. Coach said, "Do not go full speed." I caught the ball out into the flats. I see Mario right in front of me. I build up my speed, and I start slow down. Of course, if you've been the alpha on offense and stuff like that, people are going to take their shots. He came and put his helmet right on my collarbone, and I feel like that's when he cracked it. So then, initially all week I'm doing cleaning jerks. And I just feel something is doing this right here as I'm doing cleaning jerks. And then, of course, played one game. I'm just like, dang, why the hell am I this hurt? I don't even know what to call it. I'm just like, this hurt. Then, of course, playing the playoffs, Jacksonville Bulls game, we did a Texas Trap. He was their linebacker who went to, I think he was the number 1 fullback in Florida, and I was the number 2 fullback in Florida. But also he played a lot of linebacker, and I was like, all right, we got to see who's like really number 1. And we both hit each other, and all of a sudden we fell and cracked. But that same series, I still stayed in there the whole another 8 plays, still trying to block, still trying to run. And eventually when I came off, like this right here, Coach Sherman already knew something was wrong. Yeah.
Dang, man. That's crazy.
Yeah.
And with the collarbone, like you said, you're not very, you're not having a good day, bro.
Oh, no, not at all.
I mean, anything broken, you're not having a good day. But it could have been like, you're like, why couldn't it have been my finger?
No, exactly.
Or something. I could have taped it up.
Why couldn't it be my hand?
Tape up my collarbone.
Exactly. The collarbone is just like one of them things where trying to make this motion right here was so painful. Going from here to here and then still falling on it. It was painful. It was some tears. Kendall came in the game. He was like, "Hey man, why are you crying?" I'm just like, bro, something's wrong.
Yeah, you're like, why do you think I'm crying, bro?
Oh, yeah, no, for real.
I'm crying. No, that's funny, but it's crazy how we can remember stuff like that. Like, like where you were, and and how it all went down, stuff like that. But we beat Bowles.
Yep, we beat Bowles.
And we go to play Madison. Yeah,
Madison. Yeah. They did their thing.
And how remember that? Well, you were on the sideline, but you remember anything that stands out from that game?
What's that?
The Madison game. Anything stands out?
No,
I know you were on the sideline.
I was on the sideline. Usually, whenever I'm not playing football, even as a kid, I'm not really into it. Like I say,
hey, at least you're honest about it.
I can be clear.
I can see Lily's over there with a clipboard. He's like, all right, we ran trap. We ran counter.
No, not at all. I'm over there like, okay, you know what? Can we help me get this victory real fast so I can go home and play video games? Even with a broken collarbone, I can still play video games.
So moving on to we'll move on to your junior year, because I know that's probably when you got your scholarship, or you're being looked at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my junior year I was getting looked at.
Okay, so you said Ole Miss asked, but USF was closer.
Yeah. So USF was closer. So Ole Miss was a team that they called me almost every week, every Friday. They called me, asked how the game was going. The coach was like, "Oh, our fullback is up here." Actually, I think it was like my senior year when they were just like, "Oh, our fullback is hurt. You can come in right away and start." I'm just like, "Oh, okay." Like I say, I never knew about the whole Big East, SEC, ACC. I never knew. I never had the opportunity to really have like a father figure who really, can really dive in with football with me,
Right.
And I was like, "Oh, okay." And whenever I told them I commit to USF, and I was like, "No need for the visits," they was just like, "Are you sure?" I was like, "I am sure. Thank you." And they click.
You're like, you're lucky there's not a university right in there near Wesley Chapel or Ridge Manor. I'd be going there.
Oh, no, exactly.
So what is something that, when did you take a visit?
No, I only visit when it was.
Oh, you just committed.
I just committed.
Wow.
But,
okay.
That's what I said.
Wow.
It was one of the things that even like this is what I tell people too. Like my whole career with football was just like, I felt like I just didn't know. I just didn't really know. I didn't know that USF ran a spread offense. I'm just like, I don't even know what freaking spread is. I just get the ball and run. And then I just didn't know. And then to some of my other peers, like, you know, Kendall and my cousin Jawad, it was just like, bro, like, why you commit to yourself? I'm just like, oh, it's close to home, you know. They're like, don't do that. I'm just like, I'm gonna do it, you know.
Yeah.
But I honestly just didn't know.
Wow, that's crazy. And you know that, and again, going back to what we said about blessing and curse, that was good for you because you didn't have to have that decision make thing where you you didn't have to sit there and rack your brain going, why do I want to go to the school? Why do I want to go to this school? Why do I want to go to that school? I've got like 4 or 5 offers. It's gonna be hard to pick.
Yeah.
You were like, USF sounds good. All right, what, Tuesday? All right.
Pretty much. I mean, pretty much. It's kind of like, oh, you could take me from this environment to this environment. All right, cool. Yeah. Well, don't matter. At least it's going to put me out the environment that I don't really want to be in.
Right.
You know? And I always, as a kid, I always try to escape that environment. Even what I feel like really shaped me was my freshman year. My stepdad, you know, if I did have a stepdad in my life who, you know, my mom got divorced or whatever, long story short. But he met this woman named Rose. And then, you know, every weekend I would go over there to Rose's house. Even after Rose and my dad got, you know, separated, I would go over there, and that was like my second family. You know, it's a white family, and just kind of just see things totally different and open up my eyes. And okay, well, I have this family here, and I also have this family over here, and like I say, it was just a blessing. And like I say, football for me was just, all right, this is a way out.
Yeah. So when you went to South Florida, I can't say a visit, but your first time being there.
Yeah.
Which is normally your visit.
Yeah. Yep.
You want to make sure that's somewhere you want to go, but you were committed already. That's good. That's all right. That's commitment. I don't like it. It lets you stay too. That's not something common these days.
Oh yeah.
But what is something that at South Florida you're like, man, I could love this place. Like this is. Oh yeah. This is something that I could. You know, this is where I need to be.
Oh yeah, I would say one thing that really stood out to me is going to the Bucs Stadium. You know, and just being like, wait a minute, this is what the Bucs play, and just look around, and then just the cool environment. It's the environment of them just treating me really, really well. You know, I mean, of course they recruiting. I mean, it's just like sales. They're recruiting you. They tell you anything. You know, oh Richard, you come here and play. You know, starting running back. Come there, like got freaking 10 running backs. You know, but it was just like I say, just being there and just everybody just just really treating me with respect and really wanted me, because I remember Coach Franks and Wally Burnham came to my house, and this is whenever I did commit. My house on this patio, my patio got like wood missing and stuff like that. My mom offered some Kool-Aid. They said no thank you, and as soon as Coach Frank gave me his bill, I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna commit. And he was like, wait a minute, what? I was like, yeah, I'm gonna commit right now, fully commit. And then just seeing them just being so happy, giving my mom a hug, I was like, all right, I'm gonna go to that place and see what I can do.
Did they want the Kool-Aid after that?
Oh, nah, they want the Kool-Aid.
Hey, I want to tell you right now, they deep down wanted that Kool-Aid. I'm telling you. They probably said no because they're like, we can't be drinking Kool-Aid. Like, no, that was cool. Your mom asked, because I would have been like, yeah. You got what kind you got?
That great flavor.
Yeah. Thanks for watching part 1 of this 2-part podcast. Check out full episodes on YouTube and Spotify.